up a bit higher. So this is a Holy Grail reverb by EHX, and it's one of those wonderful pedals that has one knob and a switch. Turn that, so hall all the way up. So maximum reverb hall. Get some cool sounds. Like, again, I'm a producer, I'm not in a band or anything. So like, I'm just looking for sounds. Very aware that this is a guitar reverb, but sometimes guitar pedals are better than the bass version. Like, I have a few bass delay, reverb and chorus pedals, and I mean, let's just say this is the only modulation effects that I have on this board, and it is for guitar, but I love it. So we're on spring now. Dial it in a bit. Love spring reverb. I think I'm right in saying that's the original reverb, like it was the first one invented. And then this actually has flurb on it, which is really cool because it's one of the rarest effects. I can't remember who, but someone who does pedal videos on YouTube covered flanged reverb and how rare it is. But EHX make 20 of every type of pedal, so of course at some point they had to come up with flange reverb. And I mean, I say at some point, I think the Holy Grail is one of their older models. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Usually I do use the hall at such a small amount that you can barely notice it. I'm going to say barely notice it, you can heavily notice it. But I feel it mixes well with other things. So I'm using a deluxe bass big muff as a DI. Not really, I mean, you can blend in. That's just the bass big muff and the reverb, but I would never play without a compressor on. And then I've got this Boss bass wah, which is the hardest pedal in the world to turn on, but it sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I know, I'm playing the same thing a lot. I told you, I'm not in a band, I'm a producer. Try that again. All by EHX except the wah, which is a Boss V-wah, V-tone. It's got V in it and it's by Boss. It's got loads of settings. Bit of chicka chicka chicka, bit of hawkwind. And so if I turn the muff off, like all that distortion comes off the Boss wah. Oh. No, it doesn't. That's so clean. I've got the drive right up. That's strange. Do I usually have it in this mix? There you go, I'm still learning things about these pedals. Right, so when you have it in bass mix mode, which I almost always do, you can actually hear the drive as opposed to when it's in voice mode. There we go. So if you turn the drive right up and put it in bass mode, the V-wah. So we've also got, again, we've still got the Bass Preacher, which is my favourite simple compressor that EHX make. I do like more complex compressors, but a lot of the ones that I use are actually on my computer, because I would like an MXR, ideally. And I have a couple of like Joyo, like Chinese Sansamp clones that I don't use that much, but can sort of emulate some of the sound. God, just cut that bit. They can emulate stuff, but I've got a bit of a weird setup because I've got my deluxe bass big muff, which is I suppose technically a fuzz, but it's got a buffer in it and it's got a DI. So I've got it right at the end with the gate turned right up, like where I can turn it up even higher, and I'm using it as a DI. And then, yeah, turn the bass muff. So we're going to be having a little play around with this pedal board today. As you can see, it's almost entirely electro harmonics, except for this Boss V-wah, which is on. but we'll turn the drive all the way down just at the start, just to get a clean sound. And I'm going to walk you through what each of the things on this board do. So yeah, now we got like everything on. So we got the Boss V-Wah on, we got the sub and up on, with a little bit of sub and a lot of upper octave, still leather back there, compressor, subtle, Lizard Queen, quite intense, only doesn't do a huge amount anyway. Let's switch out of Flurb and into Hall reverb, keep the Pulsar, that's also about there. I really like 11 o'clock as a setting, and then the big muff. I mean, I'll put a little picture up. Insert picture. Right. another recap on what we're using, if I want the organy sound, I use the sub and up. If I want a very fuzzy sound, I use the Lizard Queen. If I want that extra muffled and a bit lower, then I switch on the main part of the Big Muff as opposed to just the filter. But I would say my core 5 are the Steel Leather, the Bass Preacher, the Holy Grail, the Pulsar, and the Viwa, which go together something like this. Okay, so we're going to try and be a bit clean. Oh, hello, honey, you're back. That's my clean sound. Well, kind of. But I do like to add a tiny bit of drive, usually, on the wah. Just makes it like a bit rusty. Then I am one of those bass players who swears by having a compressor, but I like simple compressors. So I've got the Bass Preacher. It just has volume, sustain, and a switch to set the attack. Do I like playing around with like really complicated compressors? Yes, I've actually got a Joyo one that's pretty complicated, that was quite cheap, but has like all the features of an MXR. And I do enjoy using it and getting like really weird, like squashed tones out of it when I'm trying to make, I don't know, if you're trying to do like jazz. I've got no musical training, so I can't do jazz, but jazz adjacent trip hop, you know, complicated compressor can be good. This is a simple one. Now, I have a Holy Grail reverb, which I absolutely love because I've got the big box, and the Holy Grail is one of those fantastic pedals that doesn't turn on. There we go. That has one big knob and one big switch. So with the big knob up all the way, this is what the hall sounds like. Very good for getting atmosphere, and if you scale it right back, it is actually usable on bass. This is a guitar pedal, I think, primarily. I usually use that one. However, I have to be honest, my favourite type of reverb is the good old-fashioned, the original spring. Sorry about that noise. Turn my gate on. Which is actually a deluxe bass big muff, because it has filter, gate, pad, and a direct output. I use it as my DI. Shoot me. And then it's also got something that's actually, I think, the rarest effect. Someone made a video where they claimed it was the rarest effect. If I can remember who they are, I'll put them in the description. But it's got flanged reverb. And this is pretty much like my basic sound that I practice with and play around with, not necessarily record with. When I'm recording songs, things get changed all over the place. But I have two other things that I've turned on. One, which is the tremolo. We like that. And I also have something called steel leather, which is a bass expander, which basically means the harder I play, the more it sounds like I might be playing with a pick. And it adds a bit of like high-end that can cut through the mix, which is important when you're producing music entirely with bass guitar. I don't own a normal guitar. My son does. It's not in this room at the moment. So I haven't played with a wire in a while. It's distracting me a lot. See, the gate, I turned the gate up a bit high earlier. I really just want it to not have the ringing, but I don't want it to cut off the sound too, because I love that that I'm getting from the EHX stereo Pulsar. Now on this board I also have a sub and up and a lizard queen, but the sub and up is very much used for basically when I want it to sound like I'm playing keys, well, if I turn off some of the other stuff that makes it sound less like I'm playing keys. So you can trick your pedal board into making you or trick your amp into thinking that your guitar is using a synthesizer, but it's just an octaver. It's got one octave below, one octave above, and then yeah, you get like that. To me, it's like an organ. If you turn the muff off. That's just the filter from the muff on. I'll play something slightly different. the last thing on this board that I've already demoed this week is the Lizard Queen, which really does gates up all the way, and we're still getting a ringing noise. It's a fuzz, you know. I don't consider sacrilege. I don't consider the big mouth a fuzz. It's its own. It's a muff. This is definitely a fuzz. I'm actually gonna have to dial in more bass off the wah. I said I wasn't gonna do that one anymore.